think it was last Halloween X, we took a look at Straight Out of Nowhere. I forgot to shut that off. That's enough fog, thank you. So now we come to Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo. This is the first movie of this new, I'm going to call it the Guess Who era of Scooby-Doo, because the animation is very similar to that of Scooby-Doo and Guess Who, that HBO Max show. So, what do I think of this movie? I think it is pretty good, but has a lot of flaws. So let's dive in. So starting off with the positives of the movie, one, the animation. It takes a little bit of getting used to, and I wasn't really into it when I watched the trailer, but I'll admit, the animation grew on me. It's smooth, it's well done, it has a nice retro throwback style to it, and it does a great job replicating that animation of the 60s with just a little touch of modern enhancement. Very well done. Second, the voice acting. Everyone here puts in a great performance except for Kate Micucci. I'm sorry, she's never been a good Velma. But everyone else, from Grady Lee Griffin to Frank Welker to especially Matthew Lillard, they all put in great performances, even though a lot of them have to play double roles in the movie. And even Myrna Velasco, who voices Coco in this movie, is very good. Like, very, very good. The story is decent. It's okay. Like, it does a good job filling up the runtime, but it doesn't feel as well constructed as something like, say, Goblin King, or even, going back to 2019 for a minute, Happy Halloween Scooby-Doo, in my opinion. I know people think that those two movies are on the same plane of existence. I disagree. I loved Happy Halloween Scooby-Doo. Well, this one is pretty good. Pretty good and nothing more. And then the mystery is mostly good, but there are a couple little gripes I have with it. Don't worry, this is a spoiler-free review, so I won't go into the super big details. And my final positive, I have to say, is the character of Coco herself. She's sassy, she's three-dimensional, and she is very entertaining all throughout the movie. I really liked Coco, and I didn't think I was going to, but I came around to really like her as the movie progressed. Moving on to the mixed aspects of the movie, the mystery itself is just kind of there. Like, it's not really amazing by any means, but I love the little side story of Scooby and Shaggy trying to get it done quick so they can go trick-or-treating. I really like that little side plot, and it does very well. And it also does a great job at the end of the movie. But there are times when it can feel a little bit unnecessary. Don't get me wrong, I was shocked when I heard Shaggy say there's no time for pancakes in the one scene. Like, that's something you would never expect Shaggy to say, but yet he says it, and it's really interesting, these character dynamics they have throughout the film. I really like the design of all these new monsters, being these monstrous versions of the gang, and they're pretty gruesome too. Like, you have intestines coming out of the stomach, and then you also have stuff like exposed bones. The one ghost is a straight up skeleton. The one ghost, you can see part of their brain. It is gruesome, but it's gruesome in a way that it's kid friendly, so it's not like super horrifying. But if you take a look at the closer details, I am surprised they got a G out of it, because it is pretty spooky. But the payoff to that is just kind of, I was not a fan. I was not a fan of the payoff from the final spots in the movie. Also, Fred's character is also kind of on a mixed bag aspect for me. he's still himself, but at the same time, it does feel like he sometimes gets a little too into the mysteries that they do. So it's not horrible by any means. But I also really liked this new concept of them running out of mysteries to solve after putting Coco away. This isn't a spoiler, it was in the synopsis of the movie. Not a spoiler. So they try to get a new mystery, and then one comes along and they go full force into it. I really liked that concept of them having to do these boring mysteries, and then Fred somehow actually makes a real one happen because of convoluted crap. And then my final again, the mystery itself is the big mixed aspect of the film. If you look too deep into it, it is full of plot holes and it is full of inconsistency, but it's not terrible by any means. Like, I have seen a lot worse. And then we get, the one other mixed aspect I should say is Daphne. I do like how they tried to give her more of a dimension in this movie, like a different dimension to her character, for her questioning her place in the gang and what she does. And the ending to that is very, very sweet. But now we get to the big negative, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate comments for this, but the relationship between Velma and Coco is very forced, very underdeveloped, and horribly executed. Like, seriously. Look, I'm not against LGBTQ relationship representation in movies, but there's good ways to do it, and then there's ways of doing it just to chase a trend. A good way to do it is like the movie Bros. Unfortunately, I won't have the time to review on my other channel because of all this other stuff I need to catch up with. But that movie did a great job at developing the relationship, giving the characters dimension, and the writing was strong enough to make it seem believable. This is the other side of the spectrum. It is forced, it is completely underdeveloped, it is horribly written, and it feels like it was thrown in there just to be hip and trendy. It was dumb, it was horribly executed, and it is one of the worst parts of the whole movie. Every time they tried to force this stupid crap relationship in my face while I was trying to watch and enjoy the movie, I had to hit that skip button to the part when they shut up about it. Because it is horribly done. I know I am going to be so alone on that one, but I just can't with this relationship. I can't. I was against it when they tried to say that Daphne and Velma were in a relationship, which there was no hints throughout any of the series that they actually were in one. And while it's nice that Daphne tries to help Velma with this, it's still forced, and it's still just agenda-sized. It really felt like something made by corporate, shoved into a movie it doesn't belong in. And the other big negative here is the ending of the mystery. It is overly convoluted, it is overly complicated, and it is horribly done. Like, it's not even the first time they've done a twist villain, but it is horrible in this movie. Like, straight up bad. It's not Return to Zombie Island bad. Stay tuned at the end of the month for me to suffer through that travesty. But it is still really bad. But I do like the final ending part. And one other final positive I should throw in here, since right now because of trashing the relationship in the movie, is that if you are a fan of the original 60s TV show or a diehard Scooby-Doo fan in general, you are going to see a lot of really cool hints, nods, and references to the classic 60s show. You're going to see some classic villains, you're going to see some classic villain designs that look very similar to the ones from the series, with obviously a little bit of modern enhancement. And the way it all ties together is really good. The problem is they wrapped all that up in the first 10 minutes. I mean, come on. You couldn't have done any better than that movie. Anyway. But that's really all my only negatives with the film. So, overall, what do I think? Like I said in the beginning, it is pretty good. It is a good film in the series. But I don't think it is quite great. It's close, don't get me wrong, but because of that horribly made and underdeveloped relationship, the terrible ending to the mystery itself, and just a bunch of other stuff I've already complained about. And of course, Kate Micucci. I'm sorry, Kate. I'm sure you are the nicest person on planet Earth, but you are a terrible Velma. You will never convince me that you are a good Velma. I'm sorry, just never. But aside from that, it's a pretty good movie. I didn't actively hate myself while watching it. I had a good time with most of it. And while it does have its fair share of flaws, it still has a lot that is going to keep me coming back to it. It's not a best movie of the year contender by any stretch of the imagination, but kids should enjoy it. And if you're an adult Scooby-Doo fan, you should enjoy it too, watching it with your kids. I'm pretty sure this is another movie that Soon Grin is going to make a rant about because he apparently just hates all the new Scooby-Doo movies now. But, me personally, I'd say the movie falls about a solid 7 out of 10 for its final verdict. It is very good, it is worth your time, but it is very flawed. And it's nowhere near going to be on my top 10 best movies of the year list. Unlike Straight Outta Nowhere, which made number 7 on that list last year. Well, that's it. That's all I've got for Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And stay tuned because Halloween X is far from done. It's only October 6th, guys. We still have a long way to go. So, I will see you guys next time for my review of Treehouse of Horror 7. But until then, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to check out my other channel for my adult viewers out there. Be sure to check out my other channel for my reviews of horror films and, that kind of stuff. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Definitely check this movie out if you haven't already. But just be aware, it's nothing amazing. But a decent start for a new era. I'll see you next time.